your brain, you're in the nuts domain. Come on in, it's about to begin. Don't move.
Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm John.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Shirley.
And welcome to the Nerds Domain podcast. This week, it's an immediate movie review.
Yay.
We watched Thor, The Dark World.
Yay.
And we liked it.
I didn't like the title. There's only... No, anyway.
Why didn't you like the title?
Because it reminded me of, like, the Dark Side of the Moon. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, and I didn't like the title.
What doesn't make sense about the Dark Side of the Moon?
No, wait, what doesn't make sense about the Dark World?
The Dark World made sense, but I don't like it. It's just Thor... Why can't they just call it Thor 2?
Because they're trying not to do that. They're trying to make it make more sense.
Yeah, and when there's 14 of them
Iron
out,
Man.
people are going to have a hard time figuring out which one was the second one.
That is an opinion you can have, yes. Faced with an enemy that even Odin and Asgard cannot withstand, Thor must embark on his most perilous and personal journey yet, one that will reunite him with Jane Foster and force him to sacrifice everything to save us all. I don't really like that description at all.
Not at all. Not an accurate
everything?
synopsis.
Since Odin didn't fight anybody except the one guy that got blasted and
We're not spoiling right off the bat, are we?
Well, no, that's not really a spoiler.
True.
And this was no less personal than his last journey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty personal.
I mean, I don't want to... Obviously, Avengers, that was a thing. But
You're talking about Thor 1, where he was kicked out of his house and...
Yeah, we could spoil the crap out of that. I mean, seriously, if there wasn't a more, personal journey yet...
My dad kicked me out of the house. I learned to love humans. I fell in love. I earned my honor. I found my honor. That's a pretty personal story there. Oh yeah, and my brother tried to kill me. Lots.
Yeah, and then tried to destroy the world.
Right, lots.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's fair. Anyway, so let's talk about those people and how not to be those people.
What?
Because this is a side note. So we're sitting in the theater, and someone brought in 2 baby carriages full of children.
Like infants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was like 2 double baby carriages with 4 infants.
And I get children cry, and it's going to happen. That's fine. But when you're in a movie theater, if it goes on for more than just, the littlest bit, you usually get up and walk out of the theater.
With your kids.
They kind of just sat there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
really don't like those people.
What time did you guys go to this film? I mean, what time of day?
2 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I have a kid, so I'm a little biased, but I agree that there's a limit.
Well, you would have walked him out to quiet him down and went right back to the movie, wouldn't you? I mean, you can see most of it from the door.
Jazz
when we went to movies with you, when you had Gwen, she was kind of everywhere, but she wasn't talking or making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
I mean, she was active,
right,
but she wasn't talking or crying.
Well, I mean, we had to take we had to take Simon, but we planned it so that he was at the height or in the middle of his feeding. So he ate before we got there, and he wanted to eat at with half an hour to go in the film. So and we were ready for that. We didn't. We didn't have to worry about him making a lot of noise, and it was one kid, not 4.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm not saying don't take your kids. I'm saying if you take your kids,
be prepared.
And they start to get anxious or antsy, because that's gonna happen. Kids are kids. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna look down on you if you step out and walk out and take care of that. Also, you shouldn't talk through the whole film. I didn't have that this time.
Oh, I did. I had somebody entirely too excited about it.
When we went to go see G.I. Joe, the guy next to me wouldn't stop talking, and I had to keep glaring at him until he saw me glaring at him. And then...
Was he talking to somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay. See, my guy was talking to himself.
Dude, seriously?
I think we saw that guy at the mall. It was definitely. So, We'll talk about Thor for a minute, and then we'll get into spoilers. But we'll warn you before we do. So, we'll talk about what we liked and didn't like in the most vaguest of senses. What's going on, Jesse?
The best part of the entire movie? A trailer for Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Oh, I missed that.
I got entirely too excited when that came out.
Is it all 3D animated?
It is.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's going to follow the storyline at all of the actual shorts, but I didn't figure it would. It still looks incredibly interesting.
Yeah, well, the shorts don't make a movie. That's
when I walked in, they had a cardboard cutout of Mr. Peabody, and I was so sure it was going to be live action, and I thought, oh, geez, that's going to be horrible. But nope, it's not.
What's the animation house on this?
It's the same guys who did. They just did something recent. The Croods. And
okay.
It's DreamWorks. That's it. Yeah, DreamWorks.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Well, okay. I didn't care for the Croods. I think that body shaping is just irritating.
I never watched it because I didn't think it looked that, like you said, artistically interesting.
Yeah. So we got trailers for Captain America and X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, the Winter Soldier one is really intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that Black Widow with him?
Yep.
In that trailer? Okay, I thought so, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Rumor
in the
is
X-Men one. I'm not overly interested in the X-Men one, but I'm not an X-Men fan.
A rumor I read on the internet is they're giving her more screen time in Winter Soldier in hopes that fans will get a bigger reaction and they might make her own film.
Well, what about Hawkeye?
But
well,
if they made her own film right now, they'd do it. Like everyone would want to.
Yeah,
especially if they tied it together.
We could spend hours talking about films and female superheroes and how they claim they make
they don't know how to do it.
Yeah, they make erroneous claims that they don't know how to tell the story, and yet they have comic books starring female superheroes. So clearly somebody does.
Well, somebody does, but I don't know that those people understand how to write movie scripts. That might be part of it. Because it is a different style of writing.
Kevin Smith goes back and forth between comics and movies.
Right, but what did he write that was a female?
He hasn't, but I'm saying, like, there are people that, like, I mean, if you put...
I'm just thinking of, like, Gail Simone. She obviously can write women, but I'm not sure this is her.
Put her as head writer with Joss Whedon overseeing the script. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody who knows how to make a movie.
Yeah.
But then,
I guess that's
so something like that. But, again, that's not Thor, that's other topics. So...
All right, so Shirley.
Yes, sir.
What'd you think of the movie? With as little spoilers as possible.
I really liked it a lot. It had more story than I thought it would. You know, you always think Thor, because like Avengers had a lot of action and they're going after the bad guys, but there was actually some story, so I liked it.
Jesse? Oh, stars. How many stars would you give it? Shirley.
What? Oh, well, you said Jesse.
I know, I did. I'm sorry.
Up.
Yeah, go. How many stars would you give it?
I don't know. 4 out of 5.
Really? 4 out of 5? Okay. Jesse.
It was all right. It's better than the first one. I'm not a big Thor fan, but it was character-driven, and I like those kind of stories. That being said, it followed a formula real strong. I would watch it again with my family, but I don't see myself ever watching it again by myself. I'd give it about 3 out of 5.
Okay. And Johnny?
Well, yeah, I mean, I liked it. Again, I agree that it's better than the first one. There's a lot more going on. But it just lacked the epicness that I want in a Marvel movie. Captain America had it. Avengers obviously had it. Iron Man 3 was a little lacking, but, I mean, it was a fun movie. It was a fun, I enjoyed the action, but it just wasn't as epic as I wanted. it to be.
And we'll talk about that a little more in a second after we get into spoilers, because I want to talk about that a little bit.
So I'd go 3.5 out of 5.
Wow. See, I really built up this defense because I thought you guys would come at me for being
low
on it.
It was good. It just wasn't the best.
Yeah.
I think it suffers from the same problem that Iron Man 2 did, in that we got a solid story out of the first one, because it's how you do the first.
I will give it one thing that I really enjoyed about the movie, and that is the fact that they didn't multiply the number of bad guys.
That's always good.
There was one strong main villain, and I really liked that.
Yeah. So I think it fell under that Thor 2 or that Iron Man 2 issue where it was okay, but like there was something missing, and it wasn't quite as good, in my opinion, as the first one. I think the first one captured a lot more character that was important to Thor, and this one kind of missed out on what could have been done. But that said, it's still like a 3.5 out of 5 for me. I'll go back, and I don't know if I'll go back to the theater, but I'll go get it or I'll go see it again.
Yeah, I eventually want to own all these Marvel movies on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever.
Well, Wave 1 is available, all 6 movies or whatever, for only $180.
I'm interested, but...
Yeah, I know. I don't have $180 laying around either, so... So we're going to go ahead and get into spoilers, but
what was
that's
your star
the basic...
Yeah, you said, didn't you, 3.5?
I said, like a 3.5.
I'm listening.
That's okay. So we're going to get into spoilers here, and so if you don't want to hear more in-depth about the movie, this is where you should probably stop and walk away and know that we enjoyed the movie overall, and we thought, it wasn't the greatest, but it was not at all bad.
No, it was good.
No, it was worth watching.
So, all right, let's go ahead and get into spoilers. I think we've warned them enough.
Yes.
Can we start with the ether, or whatever it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
When will directors understand that any form of computer animating water looks incredibly cheesy?
What?
This one wasn't bad.
It was better than most, but oh god, it was still it just doesn't work.
So, a friend of mine said that he enjoyed Thor because it was one part Star Trek and one part Twilight with Chris Hemsworth taking his shirt off for no reason. And I kind of can see that, because there was really no reason for him to be topless.
When was that? I missed that.
Towards the
start.
I
love how you guys are complaining about his nudity, but had it been a girl, you guys would have been all over it.
You know what? I don't always think that the nudity is needed in those situations either.
I do believe we all stated that in the Chronicles of Riddick 3 or whatever it was called, it was gratuitous nudity.
Yeah. Yeah, we were, and we were surprised by it, because that was really...
Katie being washing up. Yeah. The thing is, both of them were washing up at the time, so I guess,
This is true, so I guess maybe as long as they're washing up, it's okay.
It's hard to wash up clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm sorry, I still missed, where did he take his shirt off?
So, he comes back from the one world with Asian people, I guess. And he tells his dad about it, and then... he goes and washes up, and he's all bare-chested. And
I saw him.
By the way,
wash his hands, but I didn't see him wash his chest.
Oh no, he didn't wash his chest.
No, he just had his shirt off while he washed his hands.
Oh, I just saw his hands. I didn't see anything else.
Do gods not grow hair on their chest? Is that how this works? Like, I don't understand that, because he had a beard.
No,
I don't know.
Western civilization makes you think that that's what a man needs to look like.
Yeah,
that's aliens for you.
Hairless chest is what Western, like, these people are wrong.
They are. I always thought it was, when I was growing up, it was supposed to be like a manly man with hair on your chest. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I miss those days.
I see it all the time.
I get why in, like, wrestling you want a bare chest, because that hurts when you get it pulled.
Or swimming.
Ow.
Yeah. Or swimming, because that's speed stuff, but, like... He
does fly through the air. It could create drag if it got underneath his armor or something, maybe.
Ow.
Okay. So, I don't know. I really don't like that they used a human to further this storyline with Jane being what the ether grabbed onto.
Yeah, why did it pick her? I mean, that was, like, the perfect timing and the best of luck and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they said why it picked her. It picked her because she kept going in and out of those.
She did it once.
things.
Well,
Yeah, but she was specifically tracking that energy looking.
Yeah.
Was it? Did it
No,
say that? I might have missed that.
I'm sorry. The question is, why did the ether pick her?
Yeah.
Because it's the first living thing it's seen since it got put there.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was a massive coincidence that she was the one to find it.
It's not why the ether picked her, it's why the script wrote her to be the one to get caught.
Because then Thor wouldn't have anybody to save.
I know, but it's just such a big coincidence. I mean, I don't know. That was a major odd.
I don't think it was a coincidence. She was looking for evidence of how to get to Asgard to see what Thor was doing, and he was having Himdall, and I apologize if I pronounced the name wrong, watch her. Himdall.
Yeah.
There you go. He was having Himdall watch her. So when she vanished off out of the universe for a minute or 5 hours or whatever, I
get it, but she's the fragilest of all fragile things that could be broken.
Yeah.
Because she's mortal in a world of, even though they claim they're not gods, let's just be honest, gods, because Thor was thrown into walls a dozen times and came over the bloody lip.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's just that's what it is on another world. John Carpenter, when he goes to Mars, what happens? He can he turns into a god, but you bring him back to Earth, he's just some dude. You punch him in the face, he's gonna get a bloody lip.
But he wasn't just some dude there, because he is still better than all the rest of the Asgardians.
And the Asgardians are another race. It's not like they're human.
He just does more push-ups.
I think that you're arguing about the basic conceit of the story. You're supposed to suspend your disbelief.
I know. I'm having a harder and harder time doing that.
That's because you're getting old, Jesse.
Why do I need to suspend my disbelief because somebody can't write a better story?
That's it. Thank you.
Thor. It's Thor. You're arguing about why did his girlfriend get put in danger because she's his girlfriend.
All right, I'm going to go on the same.
Otherwise,
I'm going to go on the same rant again and say, but don't we deserve a better story? Don't we, as comic book fans?
Who would you have wanted it to be? Would you have wanted it to be Darcy? Would you have wanted them to make up a whole other character so that
they could have put it in Sif or one of the Warriors 3 or any.
But the thing is, if it were any of those, how would they have gotten to the anomaly?
The same ridiculous contrived storyline that got Jane there.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I mean, you can use the exact same
storyline.
Her storyline is all of the worlds are converging. I'm fine with that. That I don't know if that's actually something from mythology or also from Thor the comics, but I'm fine with that. I like that. I like the idea of that. My issue is that they could have used that same story and put it in anyone else. It might even have been better if they put it in what's his name, Dr.
Doohickey?
Yes, Mr. Crazy Man. I really thought it was going in him anyway because of the way he was acting.
No crazy pants. Or no pants.
Yeah. Okay, but again, at least Matt and Jesse, you're familiar with comic books enough. You put the girl in danger. Lois Lane is always getting into trouble. She's always investigating the mob or the bad guy. And
it just seemed like an incredibly cheap and easy way out. They could have gotten around it. They could have put her into it a different way that wasn't.
That's also a gold and silver age story, and this is not a gold or silver age world. I get what you're saying, Johnny, and you're right. You're right. That is what they do. But this is not a gold or silver age story. This is not how they've treated this world. They've treated it completely.
Well, I will give you some leeway on this topic. I I think you're judging a little too harshly. But
maybe.
Of the characters that we've got to deal with in the Marvel Comics movies.
Don't say he's the one that would protect the girl first, because Captain America is
not protect the girl first.
Oh,
the most silver-aged of the group. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that was when Thor was big.
Yeah, well, I mean, Captain America falls in that too, but I don't think he's as big. I think you're right. I think in that case you are right.
So I did not have a problem with his girlfriend being the one in trouble, because that's just how superheroes work.
Yeah, I understand. I had a bigger problem with how they had her get into trouble.
No, I'm okay with that, honestly. Yeah, and she was tracking it. They at least set it up. They're like, oh, you've been tracking this energy.
Yeah.
Oh, this energy is portals. Oh, look, hey, now that you found the Dark World and here are your car keys, you can go back and drive away.
That was a little what?
That I was okay with that too, because that made a little more sense. With she wandered into this portal. Like, why is that the only place? But that was the area that portal was going to. Those portals in that area on Earth were going to the Dark World. Well, okay with that.
Where the ether was not the Dark World, because it would have been dumb to put the weapon on the home planet of the guy who wanted the weapon. The ether was in some unknown interdimensional space.
Are you sure? Because he said bury it.
No.
Which
yeah,
I thought
and the
merely
thing
meant bury it in the Dark World.
But when Odin found out that she was infected by it, he goes, I don't know where my dad put that. That was
and also Heimdall can see
everywhere.
the Dark World.
Yes.
So he would be able to see her. Even if she was somewhere else, he could see her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess you're right, Johnny.
For me, that was the biggest problem I had when, Odin's dad takes this weapon from a guy and goes and puts it somewhere and doesn't warn Odin that it's there. He doesn't know. Odin's like, I have no idea where this was this whole time. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
That was the big dumb thing to me. It's like, you should know where the nuke is if you want to make sure the bad guy never gets his hands on it. You need to know where it is. At least Odin should have known, but,
You would think, but again, we're not sure how Bor died either. Because if I remember the comic books, Bor died without telling his son anything. It wasn't like he handed Odin the throne. They were in a fight, and his father died. That was it. So
yeah, I don't know the comic or the mythology that well, but that's probably true.
If you're still listening to us, listeners, and you like anything about Thor, I highly suggest Thor Volume 3, written by J. Michael Straczynski. It's not, the storyline is not a lot like this, but it's really solid. It's a lot of character work on Thor and Asgard and what it means to be it, and it's funny and enjoyable. I can't say enough good things about it. I reviewed it for the site back in March or something.
I'd recommend anything written by Straczynski myself, but
Yeah, I mean, it's a little wordy, but that's just Straczynski. Yep. But at the same time, it's really solid, and there's a deeper plot, and it's really good. So there's 12 issues there that are worth picking up. Okay, so I guess I'll concede that Natalie Portman had no choice but to become the thing that must be protected, the precious.
Yep. That's just how these tropes go,
Yeah, I guess I'm getting leery because we could be getting better writing, and I have a feeling there's going to be a downswing on the quality of these movies.
Back onto the lower quality of the writing. There were like 5 or 6 twists in this movie.
There were.
I seen every one of them coming.
I don't even think there were twists. I saw all of them.
The
only one I didn't see was when they were, like, I knew they weren't going to let Thor get killed by the giant ship. But I didn't realize they were going to push it back through the portal on top of the other guy. Like, I just assumed they would have portaled the thing away somewhere else. I didn't realize it was going to fall back on him.
True. I didn't see it landing on him either. But it's I don't know. It felt like they wanted to kind of make it. Like,
well, he's going to say the Loki
the
twist.
sudden but inevitable betrayal, both times with Loki.
What's not infected in betrayal?
Death. What was the other one? The mother putting up the hologram of...
Oh, no, I knew that was coming.
I seen all of them coming. I mean, as soon as it started.
That wasn't even really that wasn't a twist, though. No. That's what they did. That's what she did. They even pointed you directly at it earlier in the movie. They said, look what she can do. We'll use this later, don't forget.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
I wonder if that's foreshadowing.
It is foreshadowing. It's heavy-handed foreshadowing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That might be more what it was than that. I mean, everybody had to know Loki wasn't going to die.
Yeah, because he's got to start the end of the. He's got to be the one responsible for the end of the world, Ragnarok.
Yeah,
he can't die before then.
Yeah. Well, again, you're implying actual mythos on this. Bad.
No, I'm implying Marvel mythos on this.
Which again still isn't fair because there's a lot about this that doesn't fit that mythos.
We can spoil everything that happened in this movie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right?
We're way past that.
Okay, so at the end where he's on the throne,
sure.
Do you think he's killed Odin, or do you think he's just?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, where did the guy go?
I really hope, and I will restore a lot of faith in the storyline if he just straight up killed the man. Because that feels more like what he would do, but I feel like
I think it could be still a good story if he didn't kill Odin and Odin's just trapped away somewhere. I could be okay with that. But if he did kill Odin, I'm not gonna complain. I mean, Frigga's already dead.
That's what. As soon as she died, I honestly thought Odin wasn't gonna make it through the movie.
Well, and again, Matt's going to object to me bringing up the Marvel mythos. But that is exactly what happens, if I recall, that Odin is killed and Thor has to take over.
I only object to use of the Marvel mythos because they've made it clear it doesn't apply.
It doesn't. It only applies when they want it to, and
Iron Man has been in 4 movies fully, and they've yet to mention he's an alcoholic. They've hinted at it.
They've shown it,
but he's yet to have that fall apart.
He didn't have this super dark fall like Demon in the Bottle storyline had, but in Iron Man 2, where he's wearing he's wearing his armor to the party and acting drunk.
But Demon in a Bottle is kind of key to the Iron Man in the 616 Marvel Universe mythos.
Right, but they don't want to go
I get what you're
dark
saying
yet. I mean, they still could.
Well, Captain America looks. Well, I mean, come on, Johnny. This one's called The Dark World. How much darker could you get?
A lot.
But I think Captain America is going to get a little darker with the interaction we keep seeing.
I really wish they hadn't brought about the storyline that it looks like they're doing with Captain America this early.
Which is?
The government's bad, and he's got to do something about it.
But that's what they did in Avengers. They set it up in Avengers.
I know, but I wish they'd just push that back just a little further. I mean, I understand where they're going with it. I feel like it's important.
Okay. Did you watch Star Wars? I'm just, you watched the original series, the original run. The first movie, the good guys win, everything's great, yay. The second movie, the bad guys come back and kick ass, and everybody's like, oh God, what are we gonna do? They're following the same trilogy structure of Star Wars did.
Well, and I think the other thing that's important there is that it doesn't have to be the government. It could be shadowy parts of the government are bad.
Well, yeah,
because that's what we saw.
Because Fury was like, no, the Avengers are the way to go, and the council or the board or whatever they're called is like, no, Fury, we need the weapons, and so Fury is trying to fight for, the heroes to be the what the world needs, but there are forces in the government up higher than him that are saying, no, we need weapons that we can put in the hands of our own soldiers. So, yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to be. And I don't mind that they're doing this. Yeah. I think it's a classic story. I kind of wish there were things that were new, but I wonder if anybody can tell a new story, because I just heard today they're rebooting Terminator. So.
I'm okay with that.
No, they don't need to reboot Terminator. They can just tell.
We need to finally see the war.
There's no more. We did see the war.
Technically.
Some parts of it. Batman was in it.
Yeah, Batman. That would be the best war ever.
Anyway, though, also, where was S.H.I.E.L.D. at during the final fight scene? I mean, I can understand why they didn't show up in Iron Man 3, but that was a major alien invasion.
It was a quick thing, and S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't. They were also
over
in
America.
London.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
No, see, I love how Thor became Doctor Who at the end of the movie, because I thought that was just brilliant. All the Dark Elves running around with their masks. Did anybody else see a Doctor Who episode? With no? Okay, well, I thought with Darcy and intern Ian, it looked to me like we were watching the end of a Doctor Who episode, because they had brightly lit monster costumes running around, and it was, to me, that was hilarious. I'm in London. It looked like a Doctor Who episode.
I also, by the way, could do with less Darcy.
No,
I kind of like.
No, Darcy's awesome.
Oh, and let me explain why. Have you guys ever watched anything on demand on cable?
Yes.
So every time I try and watch Big Bang Theory, because I've missed the latest episode and my parents have on demand, I'll watch it, but there are commercials for other stuff on CBS, like Two Broke Girls is ridiculous and stupid. And by the way, I tried watching an episode because I thought, well, you know what, they're hyping this up, maybe it's good. So the commercials are a bunch of quippy little lines with no real development or character or story. The whole show is quippy little lines with no real development or story or characters or nothing. It's just quippy line after quippy line. And she's not that fun. I mean, it's funny stuff, but when you string one funny thing after another, it actually devalues the whole thing. This is the same problem I have with Family Guy. It quit being intelligent, and it just started being, let's make one more joke right after this joke, and then we'll make another joke.
So then is your point that Darcy is on that Two Broke Girls show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she's one of the two stars.
Okay.
So I've seen her so much in that every time I see her talk on the screen, it's the same stuff. She's still got those quippy lines.
Sure. I
Thank God there's stuff between them. But
I can see your point there, but I live in a bubble where most of my television watching is controlled by a 5-year-old.
Ironically, you live in a bubble where you don't have to worry about this, and I sort of
sort of envy it, and a little bit, No,
because I tell you, Two Broke Girls, not that funny. It's Anyway, so what did you guys think of the villain? What did you guys think of Doctor Who?
I forgot he was in that's where I was going with this episode. It had Doctor Who in it, and I forgot.
Oh, you're talking about the actor. I'm like, what the heck are you guys talking about? This Doctor Who crap.
Eccleston was in it, and I was.
He was my favorite Doctor Who so far.
Of course he is, because he's your first Doctor. There's a proven method.
No, he's not my first Doctor. I used to watch Doctor Who when Big Fuzzy Head with the Gryffindor.
Big Fuzzy Head.
Big Fuzzy Head with the Gryffindor scarf.
Yeah. Big Fuzzy Head guy. That's awesome. Anyway, so Christopher Eccleston as Malekith. What do you guys think?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
He does those. He does really good bad guy roles. He was in Queen Elizabeth, and oh my gosh, he was horrible.
Was he?
Like good horrible, right?
Yeah, he was. He was like a very bad guy, but he did it really well.
I see. Yeah.
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy, right?
He was kind of bad.
Well, he was Destro in the first G.I. Joe, and he killed it there.
I honestly was so happy with that.
Yeah. So I had forgotten it was him under the makeup.
Yeah.
And
I did too, until we got to the end, and they were like, and Chris Eccleston as Malekith, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, so that just drove it home even more that the last half of the last 20 minutes of the movie were like
I was really kind of disappointed. I was disappointed with what they gave him. I think he could have been a little bit stronger.
I didn't think he got enough time of being
I think that's
bad guy.
But it's kind of like the same thing with Star Trek from 2009. Like, what's his name? Who played the bad guy there? Eric Bana? That's not right.
Yeah, it was Eric Bana.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't get enough time.
Yeah.
Like they kind of cut his screen down too. Didn't diminish the movie, but like Eric Bana is not a bad actor, and he was playing a good, like the character that he was portraying, he was doing well.
Yeah.
But I don't think he got enough.
No, because there was, I think in Star Trek there was a he could have been a sympathetic character because he watched his planet die.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah.
Like, had they given him just slightly more screen time, he would have been too sympathetic, and they would have had to have given him a lot more screen time to show that
what he's doing is actually
that he had actually crossed the line. And so that's that's how I feel about the 2009 Star Trek reboot. And in this movie, Eccleston was just a straight up bad guy.
Well, except that, and you guys can disagree with me, but Into Darkness, they still had it's a similar storyline. Somebody screwed with Khan's world, and so he's trying to get it back and do it by any means necessary, and get revenge on the people that screwed it up, which is essentially the first Star Trek movie.
I would argue that in Into Darkness, Khan is not the true villain of the film.
Okay,
the other
that's an argument you.
Because I mean, Khan was frozen until that guy started messing with them.
That's true. I guess you could make that argument. In my mind, though, Khan is that villain. Is the main is
only because he has the history. I mean,
yeah, and maybe you're right. Maybe that's, but it still was still a good character piece for Khan in that.
It was.
Like, and even when we were sympathetic for him, because man, that sucks. Like this dude stole your family and was going to blow them up.
Right.
At the same time, like I still hated him at the end. I really did. So I guess I just wish that they could have done that more with Eccleston in this.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It could have been.
I agree. I've forgotten his name. Malik could have used some more menacing villain stuff. I did love how they got the makeup, the comic book makeup to work, because he is two-toned in the comic.
Yeah.
And he wasn't when he first appears, and he goes through half the movie without being the black and white, half black, half white.
And then he gets hit in the face with some lightning.
Right, and so his flesh is all scarred, and it's
awesome. Then I did notice that like the scarred side of his face was dark, but the other side of his face was getting darker.
Well, yeah, as the movie progressed, he went from light to full embracing the dark. So it was mirroring his,
choices.
Yeah, like he was approaching his hypothesis of evil, and so it was subtle, and it was not explained, but it was a subtle hint to the viewer. Back in the old days in westerns, the bad guys wore black cowboy hats. And so that was his black hat. The darkness was creeping across him, showing just how evil he was. Because again, he's like, oh, this world is not, I was born into darkness, and then the light came and it ruined everything. It's like, well, that sucks for you. Let's see what we can do to work this out. And then he's like, no, I want to kill you all. That's how we work this out. Oh wait, no, that's when he went evil, or that's where he crossed the line. So.
So what did you guys think of Loki in this movie?
I liked it. Yeah, he steals the star role in my book again.
Definitely.
Shirley?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he had the same quote-unquote panache as he did in Avengers. It seemed like it felt almost like his role was dumbed down.
Yeah.
A little bit. And I don't know, maybe he wasn't as quirky or quippy or whatever. He just seemed like he was playing it more straightforward, and it wasn't like the trickster that we knew.
I saw that, and I agree with those observations. But again, I think it was about Loki was the bad guy for 2 movies, and in this movie it was a setup. He played his hand in the first 2 movies, and he got beat down. So this was a rebuilding season for him. A rebuilding movie. Like he's got to sow some more. Sow a little deceit, because when the reveal comes that he's actually still alive in whichever movie that happens to be, where he reveals himself again, Thor's initial reaction will be like, brother, like, what are you doing? You gave your life for me, and you're back now. Like, I don't know how to take this. So Thor will be vulnerable because of how Loki acted in this movie, and it's just he's setting him up for a fall.
He's officially trying to do the long game.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you guys stay for both of the after
I did.
scenes?
And I chuckled at Mr. Talk to himself as he left before the second ending happened.
Mr. Talk to himself?
Yeah. There was a guy who got overly excited about the movie I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
So I missed the second one.
You didn't miss a lot.
You didn't.
Was it just eat some shawarma type?
No, well, sort of. Thor comes back to Earth
good.
to be with Jane, and then that giant creature that came through the portals.
Oh, the big dog thing.
Chases
That everybody
some
forgot
birds.
about. Yeah.
But the chases some birds. That was still funny, and we laughed, and I liked it. But yeah, it was just a short little thing. The other one I really liked.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Oh, and that's Benicio del Toro.
It is.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
How could you not realize that?
He didn't
Hush.
look at him that closely.
Leave me alone.
He
He looked familiar, and I'm like, who is that? And I'm like, I don't care. I should not care. It's the Collector.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the Collector being there.
Who's the Collector? Because I have no idea what's going on there.
Okay.
Hold on. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Go for it, Matt.
He collects things.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I thought. I mean,
Okay.
The guy looks sinister. He has a lip tattoo. Who's going to trust him with a doomsday weapon?
He's an elder of the universe.
Yeah. The same, or the race before Thanos came about. In some stories, he and Thanos are brothers or cousins.
Yeah.
I was reading on Wikipedia as my wife drove tonight because I got a flat tire. I was reading on Wikipedia about him, and his Wikipedia entry says Thanos came after. He was of a later race, but he plays heavily into the Infinity Gauntlet storyline because obviously he has an Infinity Stone.
Well, and during the late 60s and early 70s, or I guess all of the 70s, the like galactic, like cosmic heroes were a big thing.
The Kirby storylines.
Yeah, and so there's all these Elders of the Universe things, like Ego, the Living Planet, is one, and so is the Gardener and the Grandmaster.
Well, I thought all the Elders had names like that, like the Collector, the Grandmaster.
All of them except Ego and Champion of the Universe.
Well, no, he's Champion.
No, it's Champion of the Universe. It's very specific there. The whole universe.
I thought he was just by the Champion, and then because the Collector technically has more titles. But,
yeah, he does, and he has a full name too. I mean,
so is he a villain?
Yes. Sort.
And what's he trying to collect when he needs 4 more?
The five gems.
Infinity Stones. No,
yes,
they're
the 5
Infinity
gems.
Stones.
Well, yeah, but was the ether a stone then, or I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
I don't get it.
The ether and the Tesseract are 2 of the stones. I'm not sure what they represent.
He didn't get the Tesseract, though, did he?
No, it's in the vault. It's in the vault and on Asgard.
I remember when the Dark Elves had those stones that they kept crunching in their hands, and they would turn into those beings.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what those were, but yeah.
Magic.
Isn't that like the Infinity Stone part of it?
I don't
know.
No.
The Infinity Stones, when you have all 5 of them collected, give you control over shaping and changing the universe in any way you see fit.
So it is the Soul Gem, and each gem gives you power over a different thing. Soul, power, time. Oh, I'm not seeing the other two.
Mind.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Space.
There it is. Soul, power, soul, time, space. I guess there's 6.
Yeah.
Awesome. Soul,
3.
time, space, mind, reality, and power.
So how does the ether play into that, though? Is it like a power source?
It's one of them.
Yeah, that's something new for this story.
I think this is the movie storyline, their take on the Infinity Gems, because Thanos' story is the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
Like, that's the importance of...
It's what he did in the comic. He wants the Infinity.
I believe he's one of the few that's ever owned all of them. To make the Gauntlet, which is really dangerous, because the Gauntlet is seriously dangerous.
Well, the Gauntlet is technically an artifact in and of itself, and then each of the stones is an artifact. So... It appears in the Whedon Marvel universe, the stone. Nobody knows what the stones are except the uber powerful immortal elders and Thanos, because the Asgardians only refer to the Tesseract as the Tesseract. But then at the end of this film, the Collector refers to it as one of the stones.
And I really think that they would not have given it to him had they known what it was.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and they're giving it a different form for some reason, which kind of makes me wonder about the little gem in Loki's spear during Avengers, because
that's powered by the Tesseract, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Tesseract was on Earth. Or no, the Tesseract was on Earth, and Loki had it before he had the Tesseract.
That is a good point. That is, yeah,
so
no, you're
Kevin
right.
Smith put forward that little gem was the Mind Stone of the Infinity set, which, again, now that the Tesseract is a stone, I have no idea what's going on. So that's, I was like, oh yeah, that was the stone, and they didn't even realize it, and it's in a vault in S.H.I.E.L.D. custody somewhere, and nobody knows that, and that's cool. That's whatever. That's, but now the Tesseract is a stone, the Ether is a stone. Who knows what the thing in Loki's spear was, and where the other 3 or 4 or whatever are. So.
Yeah. Does that tie into? I overheard some people talking about Iron Man, the villain that uses the whips. Whiplash. Oh, that makes sense. Whiplash was supposed to have some sort of
I'm right there with you, Justin.
Gauntlet or something like that gave him magical powers, and he didn't have it in the movie.
No, the Mandarin.
Okay.
The Mandarin had 10 rings of magic power in the comic book. And
which they've then retconned from magic to alien technology.
Does that tie into the 5 stones at all, or is that something?
Nope. Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Okay.
I'm not a...
Johnny, what's the name of the character in the DC universe that collects stuff?
The Collector?
I don't know. Yep.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Are you referring to Brainiac and his tendency to collect things?
No, there was a specific guy, because he sent Lobo to capture Superman in the comic, or in the cartoon, because he's the last Krypton. So, now you at least know what I'm talking about.
That was in the cartoon, but...
But I think he exists in the regular...
I'm not saying he doesn't, but in the comic book, Brainiac is going around and collects one life form of a civilization and then blows up his planet. In different versions of Superman, that's what happened to Krypton, was that Brainiac got too big and destroyed Krypton.
Okay.
And when the first time Superman took Brainiac down, I believe in the Silver Age, was when he got his museum and his zoo.
Yeah.
Was that he got that from Brainiac? But you're right, in the animated series.
I thought that was somebody else.
In the cartoon, it was. In the cartoon, you're absolutely correct. I do not know DC history well enough to say one way or the other.
Well, I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now, and I'm not seeing it as one of the guys, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So there were 2. It's really important. There are 2 2 special things that you guys need to stay for after the credits.
We should have probably said that before the spoiler thing happens, so that way they would...
Yeah, I thought about that, but what are you going to do? So, there it is, the Preserver.
Okay.
Thank you. Good Lord. That was bugging me. So, it seemed like the Preserver. He's like the Preserver, if that helps you, Jesse. Which clearly nobody knew who the Preserver was, so no, it doesn't really help. Did you like since the Collector is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy, do you like the tie-in?
Is he going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, he's one of... He may be a background villain, but he has been confirmed in Guardians.
Yes, I really like the extra bits that they're doing to try to tie all this together, like having Black Widow and Captain America movie, and having Captain America in this movie-ish.
Yeah, that was
cool.
funny.
I like that a lot.
Jesse, have you seen Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes on Netflix? No. You should watch it. It's 2 seasons. Every episode is worth it.
I agree.
And there's a Guardians of the Galaxy episode, and that one's more than worth it. It's awesome.
Okay, I'll have to toss that on my queue.
Yeah, definitely. It's the only downside is there are 2 seasons, and that's it. They get some really good storylines in, and it really got me excited about the Avengers stuff. Does
it end, or does it end with a cliffhanger like they weren't ready for it to end yet?
It ends, but they weren't ready for it to end.
Yeah, it's not like, oh my God, there has to be another episode. I wish there was another episode because that story needs to finish. It's more like that story's finished at the end of the season, and we don't get another season.
What's it called again?
Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I will warn you, the first 5 episodes are a little tough to get through, only because you've just seen them all in movies.
Yeah,
because
origin
the
stories.
5.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and Hawkeye takes a little bit to get into the series.
Apparently, it's already in my queue.
Should be.
Yeah, we've only told you probably 1,000 times. We don't shut up about this. So yeah, what do you guys think? Does this do the movie line justice? Is this a good addition, or at least an okay addition like Iron Man 2?
Yes.
I liked Iron Man 2. I didn't
you?
like Captain America.
Well, that's because
Why didn't you like Captain America?
I've never been a fan of Captain America. Oh. Captain America's all I like Superman. I don't like either of them. I like my heroes with a shade of gray.
With the potential, at least, right? So you love you some Wolverine.
I do.
I agree that I think this is a good...
Wolverine could take some damage.
Anyway, what were you saying, Johnny?
I agree that this is a good, solid entry into the Marvel movie universe. Definitely worth watching. Again, it lacked the epic emotional pull that Captain America had on me.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Like, it felt like it was pushing for an epic story that just never happened.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and analyze it more and see it again.
I said I was going to want to talk about that. It never felt like it got to that height. It like it kept pushing that way, but it never got that far.
Now, the thought crossed my mind driving home. Do you think it's because you know that there are, 5 more movies based on these characters? Like,
no, because we knew Avengers was coming out when Thor came out.
True. Well, see, the first Thor, in my opinion, didn't have the same epic quality to it.
But I was okay with that because that was a story about a character learning to be to have some humility so he could be king.
Yeah.
Did you say there's going to be 5 more Thors?
No.
Chris Hemsworth, at the end of Avengers, I believe, re-signed for 5 more movies.
Okay, that includes the Avengers.
Like Thor 2 was 1, Avengers 2 is 1. He,
if
who knows?
He
might show
Guardians, that's 1.
Yeah. I mean, so they basically what they did is they said, "Hey, we're going to need more movies out of you. We need you to guarantee us this many," and they did. So, and that's the way you need to do it as a studio to keep your actors for that stuff.
Yeah, doesn't what's his face Iron Man only have like a couple more in his contract or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also was the one that went, you should be paying everybody else more, and like refused to work until people got paid more. And took a pay cut. Like Robert Downey Jr. has been really good about all this stuff. I've been surprised, not because I think Robert Downey Jr. is a jerk, but because actors in general don't tend to look out for each other like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah, shut up.
Somebody's got a crush.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. started, I think he was in St. Elmo's Fire.
Yep.
But yeah, as an actor, I kind of grew up with him as he grew through his, finding his style and, finding his acting style and his career. And, he, was addicted to drugs and he went through all that stuff and we thought we'd never see him again. And boom, he's Iron Man.
Yeah. He came back and played the character that he was in real life.
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that. I think he does a good job, but I mean, it's very much. Besides, if Shirley has a crush on any of these guys, it's Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth,
whatever.
Get
I'm sorry.
his last name right, dude.
I apologize to your other boyfriends, Marty. So let's talk about best and worst of the Marvel movies.
Oh, are we done with
what do you
Thor?
guys? Unless you have other stuff to say, I'd love to hear it, but I felt like to find it out.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's a good movie. There's just not a lot to it. So, best and worst of the Marvel movies.
Let's start with worst.
Howard the Duck.
No, you can't count that.
I loved Howard the Duck. How could you say that?
Yeah,
that was a great movie for its time.
I love Howard the Duck, too. It's one of the movies when I just want to shut my brain off and not think.
Well, and and I think all three of us know it's not a great movie, but we enjoy the.
Are you talking about the movie with the fluffy duck guy that tries to be
with Leah Thompson and the
that creeped me out.
That movie's awesome.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
ranks right
duck
up there.
boobs are creepy.
They are.
Okay, duck boobs are a little creepy. They are a little creepy.
Maybe
they just did not need to go there with that movie.
So, okay, worst of the newest Avengers movies, and this counts from Incredible Hulk forward.
Which Incredible Hulk?
The only Incredible Hulk. The other one was the Hulk.
Did
the
you say
Edward
best or the worst? Starting.
The worst.
Captain America for me.
Disagree completely.
Yeah.
I would put that up there as one of the best. I mean, I've watched that almost as much as I've watched the Avengers. So for me, the first Thor movie was the worst showing. It just, because again, it just didn't have the impact of the others, and I don't know why that is. I can't put my finger on it. It just doesn't have the impact that the other films do. But I loved Captain America. I loved the Hulk. So yeah, Thor 1.
Shirley?
Tell me all of them.
So you have Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Captain America, Thor, The Dark World, and Avengers. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did.
Okay, so if I had to pick one that I would never watch again because I don't like it. God, this was hard.
Well, it doesn't have to be one you never watch again. Which one's on the bottom of the list? Because you have to list things.
Yeah.
It can still be a great movie.
It would probably be one of the Iron Man movies.
But which one?
Which one? The one with the giant Iron Man suit that he fights against? The one with the guy with the lashes that he fights against? Or the one that could burn his armor that he fights against?
Burn his armor?
Yeah, the last one was the guy that could melt his armor.
Oh, and he wound up at the end of the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one because it had a big bunny in it.
Wait, hold on, stop.
It had a teddy bear.
This is your argument for why the movie is good? Is it had a bunny in it? And I don't want to grade that one out.
It was a bear, not a bunny.
No, it was a bunny. It had giant bunny ears. We talked about this.
Have you ever seen Harvey with Jimmy Stewart in it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we love
that. Is a great movie. It is one of my all-time favorites.
And that's not a bunny rabbit. That's a puka.
It is a puka, but still, it's close.
Hold on, what's a puka?
I'm surprised Johnny didn't get all over you because that's Norse mythology too.
I've never seen Harvey.
You've never seen Harvey?
What?
No.
Do you like Jimmy Stewart at all?
Sure.
Okay, then you got to watch it.
I will warn you, it is a movie from 1955, so the pacing is a little off.
Are there subtitles that I have to watch?
No.
Have you ever seen It's a Wonderful Life? It's that quality.
Yeah. Okay.
It's that.
The entire plot is a guy slightly crazy, but is so nice and has a great role, and everybody wants him to be like them and miserable. Tries to do it.
Yeah. And he has a giant puka named Harvey that only he can see, except for those special people that can see it too.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm aware of what Harvey is because there was a series of radio commercials revolving around a gun show here in Indianapolis 10 years ago, maybe. And they did a bad impersonation of Jimmy Stewart, and he was always talking to Harry, his robot.
Oh my God, I
his rabbit.
That.
Well, and of course you're familiar with it because you read my review on our website.
No, I missed that.
Oh, you reviewed it? I missed that one too.
Oh yeah, it's totally up on the site.
You
guys
check that out.
I will too. Anyway, back to the bad Iron Man. Which one is it?
It would be the middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
the Iron Man 2. And I have to agree with Shirley on this. Of all the movies, I think that's the weakest by far. But again, that still gets a solid 3 out of me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Jesse, we'll start with you again. What's your best, your favorite?
My favorite?
My favorite.
It's a...
Right, we went around and said worst. Now we're going to go around and say favorite.
It is a tough call between the Avengers because I hate origin stories and Iron Man 1.
But you hate origin stories.
But it was still a good origin story.
It was a really good origin story.
It's how origin stories should be done.
Okay, that's fair.
I think I was next. Solidly Avengers. followed by Captain America. And I love the Incredible Hulk, so I'm going to throw that one in as my third.
I've never seen the new Incredible Hulk. I really have.
Honestly, it's Edward Norton, and he's amazing.
Yeah. I was really
sad.
sad.
Amazing and everything.
I think for as good as Ruffalo was, and I think he was
Ruffalo
good,
was
I think he
good.
pulled a lot of that. I think he pulled a lot of that idea from
what Norton put
how
out.
Norton did it. Which, hey, that's great. At least we got the same feel.
Yeah,
so that's one of the reasons I don't want to watch that Incredible Hulk, because I don't want to like it. Because if I like it, I'm not going to get any more of it. I mean, there is no. It's not going to happen ever again. He will never be the Hulk.
That is something I can understand the argument for. Yeah. So, Shirley, what's your favorite?
My favorite would have to be probably Avengers.
Okay.
Because, hello?
Hey.
No, you're there.
Oh, thought I lost somebody.
Nope.
So,
Avengers, then.
Yeah. So, I have a question.
Well, can I tell my favorite, lady?
Okay.
My favorite is Captain America, because Jesse's wrong. Honestly, Captain America, there's this thing that I found in really good movies where, my heart gets into it, and I can feel it, rise, and Captain America did that for me, and it did it so much that I saw it on Friday night, and I made Shirley go see it at the drive-in on Saturday.
Okay, so where do I get a Captain America suit?
We saw one today at Hot Topic. It was a zip-up hoodie.
Oh, that's right.
There was also other stuff in the back of Hot Topic we could have looked at.
Anyway, I see, and that's where I have my problem with Thor, is that Captain America pulled on those heartstrings, got me to react the way you're describing, and I knew that he was going to
realize that's what they mean.
Do what?
I just realized that's what they mean. That's what that feeling is pulling on your heartstrings.
You
that's
care.
Connected. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I am dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Anyway.
Yeah, John's not going to argue with that.
Anyway, I knew Captain America was just going to get frozen, and he was going to get thawed out and be in the Avengers. There was no, I had no, that was in my head the whole time, but I still was on the edge of my seat, wondering how this movie was how Captain America was going to end. And Thor just doesn't get that out of me. So that's all I got to say is Thor's not as great as Captain America.
Because he's this guy running around with, hey, I got my hammer.
I think part of it is they got
We've
Captain
seen
America.
Captain America before. It was called the Demolition Man.
What?
No.
No.
You're Jesse.
Don't
you're
say
fired.
that.
No, the guy got
I'm gonna have to
a good cop, got frozen,
No.
got de-thawed, take care of a problem.
No.
Parallels there. But I will say that if anything, Demolition Man copied Captain America.
It ripped off whole hog.
It might have, but it was a more entertaining movie.
Shirley, you had a question?
Yeah. My question was, so we're talking about Marvel movies, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So why aren't we including the X-Men and stuff like that?
Because they don't exist in this Marvel movie universe.
And they're all bad.
Technically, they do.
I know, I just did not
No, they
even say that.
No, they actually don't, Johnny. They can't.
Hugh Jackman was in the Avengers.
When?
Huh?
There was a scene. There was a scene where
when Fury was trying to recruit people.
And Hugh Jackman flipped them off. They came in. The door opens. You see Wolverine. He flips them off. They turn around and leave.
Yep.
And Wolverine's at the bar. Yeah, no, that's X-Men.
Yeah. That was an X-Men movie. That was First Class.
Yeah.
First Class? Okay,
Yeah.
well, fine. Then Fury is in that one.
No?
Samuel L. Jackson.
So that kind of connects the two universes.
It's a black.
It doesn't actually. Okay, that's okay.
So that's like saying the Human Torch is Captain America. So technically, the Fantastic Four.
All of the Fantastic Four.
Is that the Flame guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shirley.
What?
You have him hanging from your
I know.
Take him.
You know what we didn't talk about? Did everybody love the Stan Lee cameo?
Yes.
That was
okay. So
Can I have my shit back?
So Alex, that's what he looks for now in every single Marvel movie.
I was so disappointed in the Wolverine movie because he wasn't in it.
Yeah. Which one? Wait. Which Wolverine movie were you disappointed in? And was that the only thing that?
No, it wasn't.
We're not talking about it.
It was the newest Wolverine movie, and I was disappointed in a few things in that one, but I liked that one overall.
This is totally about
Origins.
Thor.
Origins was a horrible movie.
Why are we talking about this?
You know what, Jesse? That's not true.
You asked about it.
There's a good solid 15 minutes in
Yeah,
Origins.
and then they slapped the thing over top of Deadpool's mouth.
Yeah.
The flashback was the best part of that movie.
Yeah, like that run through history and war. That was amazing, and I that was done perfectly. And then they decided to
thought
screw
the
over.
train thing was kind of awesome.
The what?
The train thing?
The train scene.
Besides.
The train scene where... Wait, hold on. What train scene?
Where he's on top of it, and he's kicking the other guy's butt.
That's not Origins. That's...
Wolverine.
That's the Wolverine.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I really did.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like what they did to the Silver Samurai, but I enjoyed the movie.
I'm okay with it, because the Silver Samurai would have required a lot more... It would have required a totally different story.
And they did it better than the Silver Surfer.
That's true. They got 1 out of 2 silvers correct.
I've never seen the Silver Surfer.
You haven't watched
Actually, I
Fantastic
got 2
Four?
out of 1
Nope.
out of, they got 1 out of 3
I haven't
silvers.
seen 1 or 2.
Well, they haven't.
You need to watch
Silver
them.
Sable yet.
No, I'm talking about Hi-Ho Silver, because I hear Lone Ranger was terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, Scott Johnson regrets taking someone to go see
Aww.
it. That's so, yeah. All right, so our next movie next month is Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
And then
Yeah?
So I came up with a list of movies we may be seeing next year. So just to give you guys an idea, and this is news to Jesse and Johnny too. I kind of showed it to Shirley just to kind of give her an idea.
Last time we got to vote.
We
can still vote.
I didn't get to vote on anything last time.
Yes,
That's because
you're
you're never
all aired.
around, Jesse.
So I just want you guys to hear these titles and tell me that you don't want to see these movies.
I don't want to see these movies.
Oh, so in January, I Frankenstein.
Oh, I do want to see that one.
I know nothing about that.
I have no
Look
clue.
it up.
Go look it up. I don't remember enough. RoboCop in February.
Oh, God.
See that one.
No, we are seeing that one.
The new Muppet movie in March.
I haven't seen the old Muppet movie.
Oh.
You don't want to see the new old one.
Huh?
You don't want to see the new old one. Wait,
The Muppets?
no. Oh, the new old Muppet Christmas one.
Yeah, the newest Muppet Christmas one was terrible.
The one with the guy from
Oh.
How Did I Met
How
Your
I Met
Mother?
Your Mother.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I want to see it. It's on my list to watch. I just haven't gotten around to it.
It's worth
Captain America
Yes.
in April.
it. Definitely. Skip March.
Jesse. No, March was Muppets.
Is there any chance in March we might be able to change that to Mr. Peabody and Sherman?
Yes.
Because that comes out in March, around the 7th.
You know what? We'll talk about it off air. In May, we have a choice of 4 movies.
Okay.
What are they?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
Yes.
Okay.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maleficent.
What?
Oh, I want to see that.
What is Maleficent?
Maleficent?
Did you ever see
She
Sleeping Beauty?
is the witch on Sleeping Beauty. Hello. Don't you watch Disney?
Okay. I don't pay attention.
Oh, my good night.
So, yeah, Maleficent is Disney's like take on this thing. It's going to be
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
It's the Sleeping Beauty tale told from the perspective of the villain. Jesse, this is right up your
Your
alley.
house pretty good. Is it live action or animated?
Probably mix.
I don't know.
Because I'm not sure they can find a real dragon anywhere yet.
Well, that's just CGIing something.
No, it has filming locations.
Okay, so it's probably live
So
action.
I'm going to have to go with, they... so after May, which clearly we're going to have to make a choice, June is a little light right now, but that might just be a thing because it's so far out.
Wouldn't be
Yeah, we
that
could.
idiot.
But Transformers Age of Extinction is in
I
June.
have missed the last 2 Transformers, and I do not plan on...
I have a hyphenated word that I would like to use to try and convince you to go see this. Dinobots.
Yes.
Maybe.
What's wrong with Dinobots?
July...
Nothing is wrong with
I
Dinobots.
love
Nothing's wrong with Dinobots. It's Michael Bay.
If Matt said that if it came out that they rebooted the franchise, and we're starting with Dinobots, I would be all about it. But from what I've read, they're continuing the franchise. So
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Shia LaBeouf still in it?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't want to watch it.
And then
Whatever.
in July, we have a choice of two that I'm seeing currently. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes,
Maybe.
which is, have you seen
the
Rise?
Right.
I haven't,
Yeah.
but it's on my list of things to watch.
Oh, God, watch it.
Did you not like it, Johnny?
No, I love Rise of the Planet of the Apes. My concern is that it's been so long.
It hasn't been that long.
Has it been more than 3 years?
No, it's been 2. It was like last year.
What? No.
So. Through the internet.
Yeah, interneting.
I guess I should put more than just Rise.
Hopefully you have safe viewing on.
2011.
Really?
Yeah.
So
sure?
next year
Yeah.
it'll be 3 years.
Oh, come on.
I'm willing to give it a shot. I just wonder if it maybe, I would have to look into who's involved, like make sure it's the same people. Because if again, if I read that James Franco, like he was too busy, they couldn't make it, so they waited, I'd be like, okay, fine. But if they were like, the studios weren't sure they'd do it, and then somebody finally said yes, then I'm less interested. But
Gary Oldman, Kerry Russell, Andy Serkis, and Cody Smith-McPhee. It's a hyphenated last name. I love those.
So no James Franco.
Not that I saw.
Well, won't this be further along? I mean, in storyline, it might be past.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
it could be.
Their
Rise to
timeline,
Dawn.
yeah.
Caesar is still alive.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Caesar, yes.
And for all we know, James Franco died in after the first movie from the plague.
You know what? If that could be, that's fine. As long as they show it.
And the other movie in July is Hercules.
What?
Starring Dwayne Johnson.
I'm leaning towards.
Also, Ian McShane is in it.
The only thing that I'm afraid about that is that he
everything?
did Scorpion King, and I just don't want it to be that cheesy.
Oh, Scorpion King was all right, though. I mean,
I liked it. I have it. It's one of my favorite movies.
Hercules is supposed to be cheesy, isn't it? I mean, haven't you watched Kevin Sorbo's?
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. So
got it.
We have to see Hercules because it has one of the Doctor and Ian McShane in it.
Who's Ian McShane?
He was the evil tiger in Kung Fu Panda.
That doesn't help me place him
Evil
with just
tiger.
voice.
You mean the evil leopard? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. You would also know him from Snow White and the Huntsman as one of the dwarves.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it.
He was the main guy in Kings. He was King Benjamin.
Never saw it.
Trying to think of anything else you would have seen him in. He was one of the main characters in Deadwood.
Oh.
Which main character?
He was elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He was Pirates of the Caribbean. He played Blackbeard in the last one.
Yes.
I just about said something.
I haven't seen that. I didn't know if you guys had seen it, so I didn't mention it because I haven't seen it.
I love the Pirates line. Anyway.
That's okay. We're all allowed to like bad things. I honestly don't know. I haven't seen that one. I was not impressed by 2 and 3. So.
Oh, you didn't watch the one that was kind of like an offshoot of all of them?
Yeah, nope.
It's better than the others, I think. I really enjoyed that one.
But it also, Johnny, it also has John Hurt in it. Hercules. So the new Doctor will be.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which new Doctor?
The newest.
The newest.
The old Doctor.
Yes.
The one that's going to start being the Doctor soon.
Yes. We did see a trailer for the anniversary special.
Have you watched
to
that?
be in theaters. No, the trailer?
Yeah, I have not watched that yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, it was in theater.
It's on the internet.
Well, we showed up 5 minutes later than the start time.
Oh, okay.
So all I got to see was Winter Soldier. So.
Okay. Yeah, I would suggest checking that on the internet because it looks pretty good. It's not even a trailer; it's a teaser, but still. All right, you know what, guys? We've gone over an hour. We've gone quite a bit over an hour. So I think that'll do us tonight.
Skype time, not recording time, are you?
I'm looking at real time,
okay.
yeah. I think that'll do us tonight for Nerds Domain. Yes, Nerds Domain podcast and our immediate movie review of Thor. I do too many podcasts, clearly. You can check us out on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. Head over to the website and read some articles. We talked about at least 2 movies that we have reviewed over there. There's all kinds of other reviews over there as well. You can head over to iTunes and give us a rating. Give us as many stars as you want. And you can find our shirts over at slashloot.com. And we will talk to you guys.
There's a market nobody's done. Let's market parachutes.
Yeah, I want to shoot.
Yeah.